In a recent video, I saw a prominent accounting influencer use AI to take 1 minute and 37 seconds to look up and decide on an expense category for one transaction in QuickBooks. That's way too long. This video will teach you how to do this 300 times faster using 2 different AIs, including an AI prompt. The first AI will extract 250 unique vendor names from 17 credit card statements with over 800 transactions. The second AI will assign expense categories using an AI prompt that includes this example set of expense accounts. In less than 5 minutes, we will have our data mapped like this. The first tool that we will use is an AI data preconditioner called Badbank. I'm uploading 12 SoFi and 5 PNC Bank PDF statements into Badbank AI. You can upload a group of 48 PDF statements into Badbank, and you can upload as many groups of 48 as you want, so there is no limit. The PDFs are processed in parallel, so it won't slow down the processing speed if you upload lots of groups. When Badbank finishes processing, I download the output folder. There are 2 top-level CSV files, one that contains all the transactions from the 12 SoFi statements, and one that contains all of the transactions from the 5 PNC statements. I'll open up one of them quickly here to show you how the AI has extracted all the transactions, assigned clear, consistent payee names, and reconciled each statement. I've highlighted those areas in yellow. Just for reference, these 17 bank statements contain over 800 transactions. Now, I want to show you what is inside the rename.csv file, which is in the directives subfolder. It's a summary of all the payees from all of the SoFi and PNC statements. There are 250 unique payees in this file. There are 2 identical columns, because this is the file that you can use to tell the Badbank AI to rename a vendor in your output. For example, if you want Badbank AI to rename all 1-800-Flowers transactions as personal, you would type personal into cell B1 and reprocess the bank statements with this rename directive file. But the subject of today's video is to turn the second column into the expense account category for the 250 vendors in column A in less than 5 minutes. Now, I switch over to the second AI tool that we will use today, X's Grok 3 Beta. There are a lot of great large language models, or LLMs, but for this video I will use X's Grok. I paste in what's called a prompt to tell X's Grok what I want it to do. That prompt looks like this. The prompt includes a list of expense categories with an account number and descriptions of what that account is for. Now that I've pasted my prompt into X's Grok, I upload my rename.csv file from the Badbank output folder. Remember that my rename.csv file is in the directives subfolder in the Badbank output, and it contains the list of the 250 unique vendors from the 17 PDF statements with 800 transactions that I ran earlier. It will take about 2 minutes for X's Grok to complete the job of mapping each of the 250 vendors to a category and expense account. At the end of this video, I will share the prompt with you so that you can use it, experiment with adjusting it, and try it with your favorite LLM. You can do things like add your own expense account numbers and descriptions or create unique prompts for each of your clients or businesses. You can also ask X's Grok to customize or refine the prompt based on things like location of the client or different business types. When you take a look at the prompt, you will see that it is like speaking plain English to the AI. I have used this basic prompt with several other LLMs, like Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 3.7 and OpenAI's ChatGPT o3 Mini High, and it works well. If you are using X's Grok, since the prompt says use the internet, selecting deep search is unlikely to make much of a difference unless there are really obscure vendors on the list. But again, you should experiment with your cases. Also keep in mind that some LLMs don't do internet searches. Remember that AIs have good and better days, so your results can vary with every LLM. You can experiment with enhancing the prompt and with different LLMs until you find a good balance. There are about 60 more seconds for X's Grok to complete the list, but we're going to skip ahead to the results. It looks like X's Grok did a good job mapping all my vendors to an expense account category. So now I copy the output by clicking on the icon in the top right-hand corner of the results window. Now I open up Excel. When I paste the output, I choose the Paste Special option, and then I choose Text. This way, the results will be put into 2 columns. Now I can see how the 250 vendors have been neatly categorized and assigned an expense account by our process of using the 2 AI tools. So now I insert a row at the top of my list and give my columns names. For column A, I call this vendor, and for column B, I call this expense account. You can name yours whatever you want, of course. To create a simple report, I insert a pivot table. Excel will open a new spreadsheet and I select the two columns, vendor and expense account. Excel now groups the vendors underneath the expense account categories. Again, you can refine the expense account categories in the prompt. And you can also do this by client, and even provide this list to your client for corrections or adjustments. That can save lots of back and forth time. Another potentially useful view of this data can be quickly achieved by going down to the rows box and dragging and dropping the expense account to be below the vendor. This reorders the sorting, giving you a list of vendors first and then their expense account. If you are using this for looking up vendors you are unfamiliar with, this view might be faster than the first view, where vendors were grouped underneath their expense account category. Either way, you can quickly process hundreds, if not thousands, of vendors in minutes, instead of taking 1 minute and 37 seconds to look up one vendor. In this tutorial, we use two different AI tools, a prompt with X's Grok, and an AI data preconditioner called Badbank to extract a comprehensive and clear vendor list, and quickly categorize those vendors in bulk. The AI prompt that I use today is available for you in the description below. It will get you started as you become more of an AI accounting expert. We hope you enjoyed this video and give it a like. Subscribe to our channel now to stay updated on upcoming AI accounting tutorials that will transform how you handle your finances. And to do what you saw today, use the link in the description below to sign up for free at Badbank AI.